Hi everyone out there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be discussing one thing that is very important inside that we call body cavity. I'm trying to move this to very kind of chronological manner. So now before we go into some deeper teaching and complex teaching, we need to know what we call body cavity. So when we say body cavity, what is body cavity? In sciences, body cavity can be defined as a membrane line and fluid cavity that houses and protects and separates internal organ. See the definition? Very simple. Now, there are two major functions of body cavity in the body. To three, let's say 2 or 3 major functions. Number one, they protect the internal organs. You see that? That is one of the major functions of body cavity. And they also help to lubricate the internal organs. Another one. Now, the third one that is very important and that you must not forget is that body cavity, another function that is very important is that they allow the organ to expand or to increase in size and shape without distorting or disturbing the nearby organ. Let me repeat that. One of the major key important functions of body cavity again is that they allow the increase in size and shape of an organ without disturbing, perturbing, or alters the function of the nearby organ. Example, when you eat now, your stomach will swell so much, your stomach will swell up. Now, what will give that advantage for stomach to swell up and not to disturb the nearby organ is the body cavity that does that. Now, imagine spleen is at the back of the stomach, and the rest organ are also, surrounding the stomach. The duodenum is considered with the body. None of them will be disturbed, none of them will be distorted, none of them will be perturbed, none of them will be altered in their function because of body cavity that God has put in place in human body. Alright, those are the major functions of body cavity. The third one that I mentioned is very important for you to know. At least that's kind of the key thing for you. So now here we have the division of body cavity. Body cavity is subdivided into let's say two major divisions. We have the dorsal body cavity and the ventral body cavity. Now the dorsal body cavity, one thing about them is that they are body cavities that are continuous with each other. They are continuous with each other and they are not separated. That's what we have about the dorsal body cavity. Which membrane lines this dorsal body cavity? We call it the meninges. Alright, we're going to discuss the meninges in detail when we get to teaching of nervous system. So now the dorsal body cavity is divided into two. We have the cranial body cavity and the spinal. The cranial body cavity houses the brain. You see that? Houses the brain. While the spinal body cavity houses the spinal cord. Spinal cord. Alright, this guy is made up of vertebral bone. This one is made of cranial bone. That's what we have for the ventral body cavity. As simple and known in practice, that's what we have about it. Now let's take the ventral body cavity. The ventral body cavity are type of body cavity that they are divided. They are separated from each other by the diaphragm. See now, they are separated from each other by the what? The diaphragm muscle. Diaphragm muscle. So now, the diaphragm muscle is the one that separates the ventral body cavity. Now, superior or at the top of the diaphragm, now we have the thoracic cavity. Inferior to the diaphragm, we have the abdominopelvic cavity. Now let's talk about the thoracic cavity. The thoracic cavity is now later subdivided into 3 cavities again. Number one is pleural cavity. The pleural cavity houses the lungs. You see that? This is the what? The lungs. So we have about the lungs, something like this. Alright, houses the lungs. Now the pericardial cavity houses the heart. You see that? Houses the what? Houses the heart. What of the mediastinum? Mediastinum is the kind of a partition between the lungs. That's where we have about mediastinum now. I'm going to do mediastinum in detail later. But now let's see have mediastinum as there now. Mediastinum now have the esophagus. See esophagus there. See thymus. Then you can also have heart. These are the things that we have inside the mediastinum. Now, don't forget, we said body cavity have membrane line cavity. So now the membrane that line here now is pleural membrane that line this place. Pericardial membrane line this also. This is that. These are the membrane that line this side. So let's come to the abdominopelvic cavity, which is the last one like this. Abdominopelvic cavity is the largest cavity in the human body. You must know that. And it's subdivided into the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity. Now, in case you don't know, the abdominal cavity is also now when we have all of them being separated, like if it's not abdominopelvic, abdominal cavity is the largest cavity in the body, and both abdominal and pelvic cavity, the abdominopelvic cavity, they are lined by a particular membrane that we call peritoneum. You see that? Called the peritoneum membrane. Okay, so now let's not forget, because we are membrane line cavity. So now the peritoneum is the one that lining what we call the abdominopelvic cavity. So in the abdominal cavity protects or houses the abdominal organ, the stomach, mainly abdomen, mainly like you look and what intestines. Let me just put the two over there. Stomach and intestines. Then in the pelvic cavity now, you are going to be having the urinary bladder and the reproductive organ. You see that? Reproductive organs. So you have both in male and female. We have uterus for female. You have fallopian tube. You have the ovary and the rest. Then for the male now, you'll be having your fast difference. You'll be having your seminal vesicle, the prostate gland. All of them they are inside the pelvic cavity. Now the abdominopelvic cavity again is now subdivided into main regions and four quadrants. Now what are the four quadrants? We have the right upper quadrant, we have the left upper quadrant, we have the right lower quadrant, and the left lower quadrant. All of them have many organs. In your right upper quadrant, now you are having what organ you have? You have your liver over here. In the left upper quadrant, now you are having your stomach. Now you are having your section of your cecum, is the right lower quadrant. Then the left lower quadrant, now you are going to be having your transverse colon and the rectum. That's what you are going to be having. There is something that you can know offhand. Now we also have the abdominopelvic cavity now is now subdivided into main regions. So what are the main regions that is subdivided into? We have here is the main region that is subdivided into. We have the right hypochondrium, epigastric region, left hypochondrium. We have right lumbar, we have umbilical region, we have left lumbar region, we have left iliac region, hypogastric region, and the left iliac region. Alright, these are the main regions that is subdivided into two, and the four corners, that is the abdominopelvic cavity. What you need to know, the most narrow cavity in the human body is what? The spinal cavity is the most narrow cavity. That is the most narrow cavity in the human body. The largest cavity in the human body is what? Abdominopelvic cavity. And don't forget, one of the major functions of body cavity you must not forget is that they allow the changes of size and shape of an organ without disturbing the neighbor organ, nor perturbing, nor distorting, not alters the function of the neighbor organ, and they also protect the internal organ. These are the major functions of the body cavity and what you know about the body cavity. Thank you, God bless you. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with your family and friends. That's how you see it to the world.